Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Two Brothers channel. I'm one brother.
Hello, everybody, and I'm the second brother. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Two Brothers channel. So, just want to say good to have you with us again. Back to you, Mr. Phil.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Clay. Today, we're going to be looking at a topic that is actually back by popular demand. People actually asked for this one. You get what I'm saying? They said, you put part one there. Where's the part two? We're like, oh, we're taking our time. But they were like, don't take your time. So this one, I'm going to tell you the name of the episode in a minute, or the title of the episode in a minute. But, I just want to do some quick housekeeping. Guess what? I noticed in the last video, because we do watch what we do, and we do try and come up with ways to watch ourselves and see what we're doing good, what we could improve upon. And one thing I noticed in the last videos is that I was looking away a lot from the, and people will be wondering, what's he looking at? The thing is, because I've got Mr. Clay on the camera here. So when I look away, I'm kind of like looking at him like he's the one I'm talking to. And when I'm talking to you, I'm looking at the camera. So it's kind of like weird, So when you see me look away, that is what is happening. The next thing is I've got notes. Guess what? I've got notes. So, I'm going to be looking at my notes. So if I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. Okay. It's because one of the most important things is that, this is a personal development channel, is that, when you look into people's eyes, they can see that you're sincere about what you're saying, and you mean what you say, and you say what you mean. Okay. So it's very important. I didn't want to appear that I'm shifty. I'm just looking at things. So now you know what I'm looking at when I look away. All right. Next thing, how to watch our videos. Okay, because our videos is about 45 minutes long. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, and some people might be watching it in Africa. I watch videos. I have content creators that do quick videos up to 3 hours. How do I watch it? What I do is I take it in segments. Okay, because there are just some concepts that are not just 1 minute concepts. I know we're living in TikTok world now where everyone wants everything to be concise into 1 minute, but there's some concepts and there's some things that you cannot just put into 1 minute. Okay, you need to build upon a foundation. Okay, and one of those is the kind of topics that we cover here, and these content creators to have contents like that, and they go for hours. And what you get in the end is real substance you can live on, you can rely on, you can stand on. You get what I'm saying? Versus this 1 minute things that you get from TikToks and things like that, where it will hit you and then you just go about your day. It doesn't really impact you in the depth level because they've not had time to really dig and drill down to where the real source is, So how do you watch our videos? Take it 10 minutes at a time or 15 minutes at a time. I'll watch 10 minutes, then I'll come back to it. And another thing about our videos is that we talk about concepts that you really need to think about sometimes. So I know this happens to a lot of you, that you're watching it and we say something that you're thinking about it, then we say another thing, you're like, okay. It's almost like too much already, okay? So watch 10 minutes, stop. Then I watch 10 minutes. So next thing, watch 20 minutes, stop. Then for 20 minutes. Then you know exactly where to go and start again, okay? So that's how you watch these videos, by breaking it down. And then you're a student then. You're a student of this information, because this information, for it to really work for you, you have to be a student, okay? Mr. Clay, what are your thoughts in doing that?
Yeah, definitely. Those are very good ideas. I know if you want to, or even save on data, sometimes you might want to just record it on your phone as you're watching it on YouTube, so that you store it on your phone. But next time you can rewatch without spending money on data, for those that are looking to save money on data. But for those that are living in a third world country, that might be a good idea. For those that are not living in a developing country and you have broadband to burn, then yeah, you can certainly. I play, the longer the video I find it, the better for me, because then I can just have it playing in the background while I'm sleeping. Sometimes I'm sleeping, I wake up to a video, then I rewind it again and to listen to it again while I'm awake. Because this thing is not about soaking into your conscious mind, it's about soaking into your subconscious mind. That's where the power is. Once it's in your subconscious, then you are an autopilot. And that's where you want to get to. You want to get to your wealth on autopilot. Because there's certain things that decisions you make, things you do that is just automatic. And then that's when your wealth is real, because you're not faking it to make it. It's actually real. Back to you, Mr. Phil.
Thank you, Mr. Clay. And lastly, on talking about how to use our videos, you see, our videos, again, are designed not just for you. They're designed for you to imbibe them, but for you to share and teach and learn with others. Okay, so they're conversation starters. Okay, what do you think? Like this topic we're talking about today, the dangers of giving people dash money. Okay, what do you ask your friends? What do they think? Because you see, one of the things I said in the last video, and it's very important, and we may actually do a full video on that, is that a lot of people don't understand that wealth is a team sport. What did I say? Wealth is a team sport. So that means that you have to build with a team. But how can you build when your team is not of the same mindset as you? That doesn't just happen out of happenstance. When a team is of the same mind, it is always coordinated. And how do you coordinate it? You coordinate it by looking at the same information, asking each other, rubbing your minds on the same information. Like Mr. Clay knows the information that I'm on. We talk about them. We ask ourselves questions. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? What we're doing there is where not only with Mr. Clay, I've got plenty of people in my network that we do that with. And what that does is that you don't have to always keep checking. You have built on a journey. So when the time now comes for you to build together, there is no, it actually happened today. Let me confess to you that it actually happened today. There's an opportunity that came to me today, and I looked at it. I thought, that's a good idea. The moment I showed it to Mr. Claire to say, that's a good idea. The moment I showed it to someone else in my network, that person said, that's a good idea. Why is that happening? It's not because it's not just happening out of thin air that we have. No. It's happened because over years we've developed our mindset together that the same thing that makes sense to all of us. So if you're now going to build wealth, you need a team of people like that. And that is where our videos come in. They become a conversation starter so that you can test where people are in your network. It's not like you want to now go and buy a land and you meet 10 people. Now you're now going to everybody that don't think like you and you expect that to work. Come on, it's not going to work because because you're of the same, of different mindsets. Okay, so I hope I've not spent too much time on just the I know I've got another screen here to show me. I've got a timer here so that we know how long we're spending. So if I look in this direction, I'm looking at the timer so that I'll know. So yeah, know about this information and use it to develop your network. Use it to develop those people that you want to build wealth with. Okay. Finally, let's get into today's topic. Today's topic, looking at my note, the danger in giving people money. Dash money. Part 2. Part AG. Part what's this in Hausa? I've forgotten Hausa. Forget it. Anyway, part 2 of giving people dash money. All right, so the first time we looked at this, we looked at the fact that individually, getting dash money might feel good at the beginning, but what it does is that it disempowers you in the long run. It gives you an immediate boost, euphoric, and it looks like it's harmless, but in the long run, what it does is it creates dependency, and it discourages you without you knowing, sneakily. It discourages you from being innovative. It discourages you from being a proper problem solver. Do you get what I'm saying? It discourages you without you knowing from being creative. Okay. We want to move away from things that disempower us. We want to move into things that empower us. And what empowers us is, again, thankfully, we have people in Nigeria that are now beginning to move away from dash money to earn money. Okay. And already, I am so proud of them, because already the way they carry themselves is different now when they're talking to me. It's not about no. We've moved on from that now. So it's like, okay, so what are we doing now? Okay, what have I got? What are the tasks I've got to do now next to earn some more? I can already see their tone is different now, because they're no longer beggars. They're now team players. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Clay, let you have a few words.
Wow. That is the power of getting to realization that you're not just begging anymore. You're actually earning, and you're bringing your skill to the table to earn, and you're developing yourself. You said something earlier about the fact that when people get dash money, it kind of gives them a false relaxation. They don't tend to touch their ingenuity. They just take it and go and spend it, and they don't know that they're shortchanging themselves in the long run, which is very true. And this thing is rife, because I don't know what I was talking to. I was talking to somebody last week, and I was saying to them that whether you come in as an employee, when it comes to the subject of making money, so whether you come in as an employee where you get wages, or you go in as a business owner where you're generating your own money and you're building your own business, you end up at the same place of the company needs to generate sales and make money. There's a service that we need to provide and make money, right? So if you come in as an employee and you work your way up, you'll be a director, and the director will be talking, what they're talking in those board meetings where you walk past and you see them all looking nice in the board meeting, you see all the big cheese, and you say, oh, what are they talking about? They're talking about how are we gonna make money this year?
Carry on, sir. Carry on.
It's not complicated about how are we gonna stay in business? How are we gonna keep the doors open this year? Who do we need to get rid of so that we continue to make money? So if you as an employee, you might not be in those meetings, and you're thinking, "Oh, one day I want to get in that meeting. I want to be there. I want to be head of my department so I can get a seat on the table." But bottom line is they're looking at you like, "Okay, what are you bringing in?" So if you haven't developed those skills, there's no running away from it. And those skills you're giving that on day one when you're starting your own business. Like Mr. Phil says, you can start your own business. Or when people think about, I want to start my own business, they want to think office space, secretary, desk, car, company car, logo, business card, what else? Everything is just spending. You haven't even you haven't made a dime yet, too. You just spending.
But we look good. We look good.
You look good. Everybody respects you. You go to church. I'm a businessman.
Sorry, carry on.
Businessman. Everybody call you sir, ma. Yes, ma. Yes, sir. Even the pastor is looking at you with corner eye. Is it the one that's we have him in You have him in the house, the businessman. Everybody's money going out. How much is coming in? After spending all that money, then you get somebody trickling £5. Like, big £5, what's £5 gonna do? You know how much I've been spending on this? So, why don't you get involved in a business where the outlay is very minimal, but the incoming is maximized? So, but I think I don't want to stray too much up because
No, that's fine. That's fine.
go back to you.
One of the things that Mr. Claire is doing there that a lot of you may miss is that he's actually talking from personal experience. He was that guy that was in the office saying, one day I want to be in that meeting. And he was that guy that was saying, I wonder what they're saying in those meetings. And now he's in those meetings now. And he's now realizing, oh my goodness, so this is what they talk about here. How are we going to make money? The buck stops right here. No more playing. See those ones out there, yeah. Like they say, 30 days make a pay. They don't know nothing, But when you come in here now, that's when your skill is the only thing that matters. How do I make something happen out of nothing? It's the feel. Is that possible? That is why we say you should read. Because, and I've just told Mr. Kanale before we started this program that we're going to do a proper episode why we ask you to read. Because when we say you guys should read, I think you guys think we're saying that you should go back to school and read what you read before. No. We're talking about getting information that will impact you in such a way that you can now become effective in every area of your life. That is the difference. It is getting you from who you are now to who you need to become to get the good stuff you're looking for. Okay. Let me quickly tell you. So back to Dash Money. The dangers of Dash Money. Sorry, I might be fighting off a cold there, but I'm good. Quick story. I like telling stories. I had a friend. I was around, I think I was 20 years old, maybe 19, 20 years old then. And this friend, very great guy, very good friend of mine. Let me just call him Mr. L. Mr. L letter shape. L letter, Mr. L. And that time when I met him, he was young as well. I think he was maybe 23. And one of the things he told me then was that he told me a story, comes from a rich family, fell out with his dad, ran from a country to another country to the UK. Well, his relationship is kind of like okay now with his dad, who was a rich guy. And this guy told me then that he had a trust fund. Oh, when I'm 25, I'll get my trust fund. Now he was 23. I'll get my trust fund when I'm 25. So he was waiting for this trust fund money. And here I was on the other side. I ain't got a trust fund. I ain't got a rich dad. It was only me, myself, and I. But we were interacting, and the guy was teaching me a lot. I was asking him a lot of questions. It was, but at the back of his mind is that as soon as I get my trust fund, and I kind of like envious of him then, because my goodness, because that time he was talking about maybe £2 million. I was thinking, shit. If this guy gets this £2 million, man, it's a good thing I'm his friend.
Don't piss him off too much.
Thank you, don't piss him off too much. But in the meantime, I had my mind on my own issue, my own situation, work hard, do what it takes. Thank God I had books I was reading then as well, telling me to do the right things. I will share it with him. It can't be bothered because his 2 million was coming. Cut long story short, time went by. He became 25. Where's his trust fund? No trust fund. Because, yeah, this is happening with the dad, and the dad has now moved it that he will get it when he's now 30. So he was not happy with it, but he will get it now. Definitely. He's gonna get it at 30. But what I noticed in the meantime was that this guy couldn't just hold down a job. He couldn't hold down a job because he's thinking, why am I working when I've got money? In the meantime, he ain't got money. So his attitude towards what was right, doing what it takes to succeed was completely taken out. He couldn't, that time I remember he would get up in the morning, put on cologne, put on suit, go to the city. He's a white guy. He looks white guy, although his mom is black, but if you look at him, he's completely white guy. So they didn't know. So doors were opening for him. But the moment he goes to the city, he gets a job, 22 pounds an hour. That time I was only getting £6 an hour. This guy would wake up and just go and get 22 pounds an hour like that. And come back home. Next day, he can't be bothered to get up. He can't be bothered to get up. And I'm looking at him like, is this guy mad? What's wrong with him? Anyway, cut long story short, that thing, it was like that. Time went on. 30 years old, no trust fund. 35 years old, no trust fund. 40-year-old, no trust fund. And in the meantime, what has he done with his life? Absolutely nothing. Thank God I did not follow him. Because by the time he looked up at his 40s, I had my career, my CV was full of stuff that was, that I've achieved. I now had 4 kids, never married, no kids, nothing. Last time I saw his picture, the guy is just a few years older than me, maybe 2 or 3 years old. The guy looks like he's 70 years old. He could not recover from that. So when we're talking about the dangers of dash money, that's how extreme it can get. Africa gets over 30 million, I think 300 million or whatever, some number, but it's a huge amount every year. And look at where we are. This thing can be devastating, ladies and gentlemen, on the micro and the macro level. Because when it comes to government, isn't it interesting that every mineral that is worth anything is in Africa, yet the whole world comes, take it from Africa, and we're still poor. Do you get what I'm saying? So don't play with this principle of, moving away from dependency on dash money. Mr. Kalaya.
Wow. I was just trying to Google how much Africa gets in aid every year. And the first thing that came up is HIV.
It's not funny.
Google ain't gonna help us this time. You can check that. But Africa gets billions every year, but the money that is coming in, as we now know, is not for their development. It's for these countries to keep having the access to do the raping that they're doing to those countries. And as we see, that doesn't help them in the long run, because we can see the fruits. We can see the fruits of it. Years and years of aid coming into Africa. And why do they even need aid? That's the first question. Why does Africa even need aid? Because there's some days we wake up in London, London, London is next to heaven, Abby. Well, even those living in Canada, these are harsh climates. And when we say they are harsh climates, you guys look at us and say, yeah, especially those in Nigeria. We want it to be ash on me. I want it to be ash on me like it's ash on you. Abby. But sometimes you wake up in the morning and the weather is dreadful. You don't even want to leave the house. You don't even want to leave the duvet, not talk about the house. So, but in Africa, you wake up in the morning and it's beautiful. The weather is inviting you out. It's like waking up in paradise. It's saying, it's like, when coming to America, when Prince was sleeping, and then and you just wake up. It might not be the music of it might not be that music, but you might get cuckoo, in the morning, like a cock crowing, and you'll be like, what? Wow, that's a new one. That might be your alarm clock. you know. So there are so much beauty, and they want you to lose control. They want you to lose those lands. They want that land, because I think they might have a cure for malaria. They want that land, you know, because make it, like my mentor Jim Rohn always says that if you don't use it, you lose it. If you're not using what you have, you will lose it. And it might be sad because we might be one of those ones coming to, along with the whites as well, coming by your shoulder. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take my share. I'm gonna take my share as well. Because you guys clearly don't need it. So personal development, it always goes back to that. There's no getting around it. And remember, what the story Mr. Phil just shared is somebody that I saw both of them like a little child looking up at both of them like, okay, this one is a millionaire waiting 2 more years. And this one, okay. Just don't piss him off too much, And everywhere the guy went, he was telling everybody, yeah, because the guy came from money. So he was expected to go back to money. You know what I mean? It was just expected it to happen automatically. So there was no question about it. It was even because of him I went into banking. Because those jobs I used to go to was banking jobs. I used to go in, come, I used to go in. Maybe next day might be harsh, Mr. Phil. Maybe you go in for 2 days, and it will make about £500, sha. And I remember it was £500 was the amount of money that it will get up enough to make £500, and then let's go and buy some weed, and you'll be thinking, and this guy is working for Credit Suisse, he's working for Deutsche, he's working for all the top banks. We're not talking about silly little banks that you don't want. We're talking about top banks. The guy with Deutsche, Credit Suisse, Dresdner, be like, what? So that's why I went into investment management myself, because of him. So but it always goes back to that, how you see people around you. While you're developing yourself, you watch people around you, and you see the plan. The plan they are working. You say make a plan and work the plan, right? So you see the plan they're working, and then you're thinking, am I on the right path? Because I'm not sure, because this guy is gonna get his million in 2 years' time. And from the way he's talking, he's already spent, he knows exactly how he's gonna DV it up, how he's gonna, become the next Bill Gates. And you're thinking, okay, and you don't, and you're just reading your books and listening to your tapes. So Mr. Phil, we look back now, we see him, and it's amazing how the years have not been fair to him.
To be honest, he has not been fair to himself, because no one's held him back. He had all the opportunities. And nowadays, when he sees me, sometimes he pops in maybe once in 5 years, once in, and he sees me, and he always tells me this. He'll say, Phil, I'm proud of you. And I'll be looking at him, and he will say, another thing he does is that he trades the stock market. So that 500 naira Mr. Claire was talking about, once he makes 500 naira, maybe 250 is for weed and 250 is for the stock market. And he never won on the stock market. He never. So it was either his trust fund or he's going to make it big on the stock market until tomorrow. Last time I spoke to him, he was still talking about this stock market thing. I'm like, okay, whatever. Stock market, no personal development, no discipline, no tenacity, no foresight, no insight, because he has not developed himself over the years. It's always this great scheme that is going to... No. Look, everyone that succeeds, they succeed in the boring hours of the morning when no one is looking, when doing the most meticulous things. That is where success is made. Not when everybody's shouting and everything. No. That's just the trappings of the success. The real success is when you are in the manure, the where no one wants to get stuck in. Like reading. I want to read. But look, we're living in I will allow you to cheat. Just one little cheat. That is, get it on audio then. At least get it into your head. Because you see, one thing about information that you don't know is that once you first get information, that information is not really useful for you yet. You have to get information into you over and over and over again, because you see, your mind will fight the information because there's a way you're already living. And you cannot just hear information today and just switch to that information. So you need to hear it again and again. And maybe I'm trying to think of something that's happened to me. Oh, let's say losing weight, cutting out sugar. I hear the information, cut out sugar and it will help you in losing weight and maintaining your weight healthy. Sugar is not good for you. But I like sugar. You know what I'm saying? I like chocolate. It's in drinks. It's in practically everything you're eating. What are you saying? I shouldn't eat? You know? But what I'm doing is that I listen to that information again. Sugar is not good for you. Sugar is not good for you. Sugar is not good for you. Over days and months, sugar is not good. And you know what happens? One day, I just said, you know what? I think I can be taking my coffee without sugar, Look, here's my coffee now. Without sugar. It didn't happen on the first day. I couldn't do it on the first day. It was impossible. But when I was listening to the information, sugar is not good for you. Sugar is not good for you. It took one day. Finally, I just said, you know what? Okay, I won't die if I don't take sugar in my coffee. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So with every other empowering information, it is the same process. And that's why they keep saying, and that's why they say that the mind, when it first gets information, it considers it. You consider it. But you need to continually see it, to consider it, before your mind shifts. And you don't know when. Like Mr. Clay was saying earlier, where it really becomes powerful is in your subconscious. You know what? When you're dreaming of doing the right thing, then you know it has arrived in you. You get what I'm saying? But if you're still, because your subconscious is really where the power is. Today I put something in the oven downstairs, and I went to the next room and I was talking to Rike. Then I came back and I was looking at Rike and I said to Rike, do you know what? I don't think I turned on the oven, So I just put that thing frozen there in the oven and everything. So I got up and I went to, and I'd actually turned it on. I turned it on, put it in the right temperature, but I couldn't remember it at all. I was on autopilot. My subconscious does that. I was on autopilot, Mr. Clay, and there was no one else in the house that could have done it for me. So I must have done it. So that's the power of the subconscious. A lot of you're watching this now, you're breathing. You don't have to say, okay, breathing now, breathe out now. That's happening automatically. Your eyes is blinking. All your internal organs are working perfectly without you having to say, okay, you move this way, you move that way, okay, this is your turn, that is your turn. So with your mind, ladies and gentlemen. Let Mr. Claire come in there.
Wow, that is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. And these are the things we're saying that dash money deprives you of. Because somebody would dash you money and deprive you the ability to engage so that you can learn to fish, because you're being given a fish with dash money. And you'll be very nice. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. God will bless you, sir. With my Nigerian brothers and sisters, it's happy Monday, happy Tuesday, Wednesday, happy Thursday, happy new month, happy new month. It's like, come on, guys.
Mr. Clay is saying the messages that we get, and you're like,
it's like,
okay, thank you.
God bless you, sir. Happy Monday, happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday. It's crazy. So all that is unnecessary. And because and then what you do, another thing that gets me is this, yeah. Instead of you to spend the time to develop yourself, like Mr. Phil was saying, your subconscious, you being on autopilot to your wealth, just making decisions, being where nobody's watching, and you're doing the hard work, to make you successful when nobody's watching, in the closet. Instead of you taking that time to pray, because when it comes to prayer, nobody can pray like us. You can, Holy Ghost, fire. Nobody can pray like us, though. Even God is looking at you. Okay, look at these ones. Like, die. Poverty, die. You can do, nobody can pray like us, So, but that is not, and I've been there, I've done that, Money, comment now. Money, comment now. Money, comment.
Maybe exactly. Let you hold on 1 second, and you will come back here. Money, comment now. No skill. Money, comment now. No plan. Comment now. No strategy. Carry on.
Money, comment now. No clue. And then you're thinking like, okay, then you go home, and that. But the thing is, when you look at the people that don't pray to God, these are Igbo people. Okay, these whites, the religion is in the background. They don't bring it into the forefront. They bring their skill to the forefront. They leave religion in their closet. Because when it comes to this, and you look at how much billionaires, with the prayer, okay, in Nigeria, 200 million people. 200 million people praying like there's no tomorrow. Fire, comment, poverty, prosperity. Everybody, prosperity. Going to church every Sunday. I'm coming to collect my blessing, Everybody's there, pay my tithes, pay my offering, pay my tithes, pay my offering, pay my tithes, pay my offering. No devourer. Everybody's there. Everybody, the whole crowds to church. How many billionaires from the country, Mr. Phil? How many?
Even the billionaires that you're talking, or people that seem to be doing well.
We don't even check out they made their money. They just say billionaires. How many would they say officially business billionaires in the country? Not politicians that take stolen money.
Okay, not politicians and pastors.
Not those billionaires. Pastors are not even billionaires.
Really Dangote is the only one that comes to mind. And Odetola, okay.
I can't remember the third one. There's only 3 billionaires.
And guess
and
what?
2 of them are Muslim.
Thank God. And guess what? Apparently in China, 30% of their population are now millionaires.
I'm saying billionaires.
Okay, okay, go on.
If you look at countries, a small country like Switzerland, they have 30 billionaires.
Wow.
And Nigeria, with all the religionists, with all the devil's a lie, give everything to church, Even the pastors are not billionaires. Even with all the money they're gathering together, they're still not billionaires. So why are we fooling ourselves? Because we're gonna believe it or not, time is going, we're gonna get older, next generation are coming, and they're gonna be asking questions. And we're gonna have good answers for them. Nobody's gonna say, like, nobody's gonna say, well, they say, why are you poor? Or why are we not? Why is the wealth? Why are we not? None of you are gonna say, well, it's because I have a lousy philosophy. My philosophy was bad. You're gonna be like, yeah, there's gonna be all kind of excuses. So, Mr. Phil, I don't want to drag on this.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's very important. What you're saying there is that their energy is put in the wrong, they're putting emphasis in the wrong place. That will not serve them. Do you get what I'm saying? All that energy, money coming, in the church. Over here in the developing world, the prayer is in the discipline. The prayer is in the action, the right work habits. The prayer is in developing those things. That's where the prayer is. Meanwhile, in Africa, the prayer is just talk, developing nothing. So again, we're not. Look, this is coming. I hope you can see it's coming out of love, because we've been there. And again, as you're hearing this, as it's impacting you, it is intelligent self-interest from our part. Because when you're developed, we're developed, and it becomes a success feedback loop. Like Mr. Clay said, the Chinese are coming to Africa, whether you like it or not. And as the Chinese are coming, guess who's looking behind them? The Russians are looking and say, hey, the English are looking, whoa, this was our colony. Everybody have got plans for you. And Mr. Clay, like Mr. Clay said, it is not about good or bad. If you don't use it, you will lose it. And like Mr. Clay said, if they're coming, don't be surprised if you guys don't do nothing there, and don't be surprised if we're coming with them. Because come on, what options do we have? What alternatives do we have? Do you get what I'm saying? So again, God forbid us being in that position where we're having to come back to Africa to basically claim the smidgen that is left when everyone else has taken it. This is the easy route. This is the easiest route, which is develop yourself so that you can now become. So when they're coming to Africa, they're not coming to come and take, because look, Africa is like this now. Africa is like someone that is living on a well, but it's thirsty. Let me repeat that. Africa is like someone that is living on a well. There is living on a well and is thirsty. Then someone from the outside now brings the pail and the rope and now throws it into his well and now draws the water from his well and now gives him a cup to drink. Then they leave, then it goes back to living on the well until they come back with a bucket. Because they keep giving him a cup, he doesn't think of the ingenuity that, hang on, I need to come up with my own bucket. Forget their bucket. It starts from our education. I need to come with my own education. Forget their education, because their education is basically to take you away from knowing how to do it yourself. Because if they really give you the real education that you need, you will become their competition. Again, it's not about right or wrong. Mr. Clay, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, because it's like you said, it's like you're sleeping on the well. The person comes and tells you, okay, if you go into that house, you get a cup of water. That house, yes, that house. You just go in that house. Tell them that you want to be working cleaning the house for water, and they will give you a pot of water. So you go into the house, and then they will be the one to draw the water. The same bucket, you just the same well you just stepped away from. They will go and draw the water from there, take it to the back of the house, and then give you a cup. They won't give you the bucket too. It's just a cup from the bucket. I say, okay, you have finished cleaning. Okay, is the house clean? Oh yeah, here's your cup. Drink it. So if you want more water tomorrow,
Just
yeah,
come next time.
come back to the front of the house. Come knocking again, okay? And then you say, oh, thank you. And then then you go back and sleep on your well. And then the next morning, you say, I'm thirsty. Then you wake up, you go and knock on the door again. And say, oh, you're back. Okay. The same well, it's your well, they will go and draw it again. So you say, okay, in this time, you don't just clean this place. You have to clean the whole yard. Yeah? Because they will be changing the rules on you. And then you clean the whole yard. They say, I'm really thirsty now. Okay, yeah, here's your cup. Now you can't don't go and sleep on that well anymore. Eh? Because we need that place as well. We need you to
move away from your own well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is this. Look, again, I like saying this. It's not about good or bad. Who do you blame in that situation? Is it the person that is taking the water? Is it the person that there's nobody to blame? It is who is taking responsibility. Until the day that that person on that well says, you know what? Let me forget about this cup. If this is the well, let me come up with my own way of drawing my water. You can't blame anybody else, because everything that is happening to you is because you've allowed it.
Mm.
And until you take that full responsibility, nothing will change, and you can blame everybody all you want. But guess what? As you're doing this, all the other fingers are pointing back at you. We're going to do one topic, and one of the comes to that. I'm going to introduce it a bit here, and then we're going to do another episode on it. It says, we have met the enemy, and he is us. Mr. Clay, we got to round up. Last words, please.
Definitely. I hope you guys take one or two things. These are things that you need to focus on the right things, because we all have 24 hours in a day. Stop focusing on the wrong things. Because when I speak to a lot of people back home, especially in Africa, you focus on the wrong things. And focus on the right things. And there's no getting away from it. Until you start focusing on the right things, like Jim Rohn always says, I have to tell you, Jim Rohn, because that's what I've been focusing on. And that's why I say you just can't help but be on autopilot to your own success. Because if you drum it into yourself enough, it will start, you want to do something and it will just come up. Is that right? You want to do that? Are you sure? Because Jim Rohn will say, success is simple, doing the right things over and over again. Yeah, for 5 years, you'll be successful. Disciplined, continuous, right things disciplined every day, right actions disciplined every day. You'll be successful. If wrong actions disciplined every day, what is that? Disaster. So let me leave you on that, Mr. Phil.
Okay, let's leave that with this gem as well. This gem, if you go onto YouTube and you type Jim Rohn, your best year ever, that's a 4-hour video. I remember the first time that video came out in the 90s, I actually paid maybe over £120, and that time was a lot of money. And we had to have it in VHS. I can't believe it is free on the internet right now. Free of charge. I paid £120 then. Then it felt like £1,200 because of inflation. But you now have it on the internet free of charge now. Look, like Mr. Clay said, if you just take that, your best year ever on the internet, And that's all you do this year. Just watch it start to finish. Watch it start to finish. Watch it start to finish. It is impossible that your life will not improve. On that note, remember, if it is to be, it is up to you. And if it is up to you, it is to be. If you keep saying that to yourself and you take that to heart, you cannot but succeed. God bless.
Bye-bye.